UCAR. Peter Christensen here, coming to you from the CEO's desk. Gonna talk more, less about a specific thing in contractual law and more theories, legal theories. Just want to talk, and this will be applicable as the new REPC rolls out. And if this is your first time hearing this, we're going to be getting a new REPC. Hopefully, if all goes as planned in the next few months, probably my guess would be it won't be mandatory until January 1st of 2027. I just dated this video. Whoops. Okay, talking about so this will be kind of applicable. The difference between notices and conditions. So we have both in the REPC and in addenda, and even sometimes there are a couple confusing parts about our contract where you have kind of a notice and then it's unclear whether it's a condition. The one I'm talking about in our current REPC is the notice that buyer needs to sell their home, right? So a seller wants to know, hey buyer, are you going to need to sell your home before you can buy my home? Are you relying on that to sell? And it's important information so you know how strong their offer really is. If they've just put their house, or let's say they haven't even listed their house, but they come and say, yeah, I'm going to buy yours. I'm going under contract because houses are going fast. And you say, great, I'll go under contract with you. And then you find out, well, they've got to clean up and list their house and then hope to sell it. And you hope that market is going quickly. Otherwise, by the time you get to the finance deadline, you can expect them to probably cancel if they haven't sold their home. And so yeah, it's something listing agents have dealt with for a long time of wanting to know that information. So it was put in the REPC, I think, the last go around, and it'll still be in the new version probably. I say probably because it still has to be approved by the state, and we'll see if any changes come about. But in the current REPC, you say here, yes, I'm notifying you, and then it says you'll attach the terms. But oftentimes, I don't know how often, but sometimes the terms aren't attached. And so the question becomes, it says it's conditional, but it doesn't have the terms of that condition. So is it any more than a notice at that point? What are the terms? So notice is simply notifying, right? And you can ask, I would like a notice about this or that, and it's just information. I'm notifying you that this event has happened, that I intend on selling my home, that whatever the case may be. And then a condition comes when it alters the rights of the parties, in essence. So in that buyer needs to sell their home, well, if they use the addendum, now gives them some rights. And then it gives the seller potentially rights if they add the time clause addendum. You're adding new conditions onto the contract. And so just be aware as we go through and we talk specifically about the new REPC when it does come out, when it's approved. And we'll do, I'm sure, multiple videos about that. And that'll be fun in classes and all that kind of stuff. But it's a good thing a primer to know going into it is the difference between a notice and a condition. Condition usually gives one of the parties or both parties additional rights within the contract. So something changes with how the parties can now behave in the contract because of a condition. Notice is simply information. I'm just notifying you of this. That's it. Now, oftentimes conditions are sprung forth by a notice, right? So the time clause addendum is a great example where if you notify the buyer that you have a new offer, then it triggers something, usually waiving certain conditions for the buyer. Well, there you go. You have a notice. I'm notifying you, buyer, and it's going to kick in new conditions. So just a slight difference, but it came up in one of our forms meetings, and I thought that's a really interesting distinction that sometimes it's easy to miss, and that is notice versus a condition. So keep that in mind. I'm really excited to start doing videos about the new REPC whenever it gets approved. So look forward to that. Remember, this is not legal advice. If you need specific legal advice, please contact your attorney. Thanks for tuning in.